Okay, this video is going to show you how to create a tile map that's wider than the screen. Okay, and then scroll it. I'm going to be using these rather imaginatively drawn textures that are 800 by 600 in size, both of them. Texture 1, texture 2. Okay, first thing I need to do is go to my code and add them to my graphics folder, so I'm going to quickly do that. Add existing item. Where have I got my graphics stored? Everything here. So where are they? There they are. Oh yeah, very conspicuous. So add them both. I then need to go to class view and look for start preloader. So I select game, start preloader to load those two graphics up. So let's go back to Solution Explorer. So I want to load a texture. So load manager dot add texture. I'm rushing through this. If you want to look at it in detail, look at the video that tells you how to do this slower than this. Okay. So texture 1. Oops, that's asset 4. I'm just going to copy paste that line. 2, and that's asset 5. Right, I need space to store them two textures, so I'm going to go into graphics and create those. Texture 2D TX text 1, and the other one's going to have another. Don't give yours such naff tiles. TX text 2. Okay, so they're going to hold the two graphics when they're loaded. Now if we go back to start up and just scroll down slowly from start preloader, we get to the bit where we can transfer the loaded graphics to our textures. So we just say graphics.tx text1 equals texture 2D in brackets. Load manager, get me the loaded asset numbered, and it was 4. It might be a different number on yours depending on how many different assets you've got. And we want to put in texture 2, texture 2D, load manager, get loaded asset 5. Remember, when you're doing the preloader code, put your asset numbers next to it. It takes 5 seconds, it'll save you a lifetime of pain later on. So that's those loaded. Okay, if we go back to class view, we're looking for our tile creator, so create TileMaps. Let's go to that code. Right, we've got a background subroutine here, so I'm just going to obliterate that and create this new one. So I have in my graphics folder, I've still got TM title background, so I'm going to use that. You can create a new tile map if you want. So I'm going to say graphics TM title background equals new tile map. Now I've got two images 800 by 600 each, so my entire tile map, the size of it, the width is going to be 1600, but it's still going to be 600 tall. Okay, so remember that line just defines how big the tile map is. Now we've got to put the graphics on it. Now we've got two graphics to put on it, so we've got to do it in 2 steps. So we say tile map manager tile, because we're going to use the entire graphic, to TM title background. We want this one to be in the top left hand corner, the first graphic. So I'm going to say new vector 2, not coming up. And the texture is graphics TX text 1. Okay, now I'm going to copy and paste this code to get the next graphic, and I'm going to change the texture to 2, but I want to place this at 800 so they sit side by side. Okay, so that puts my two graphics onto this tile map, so that should fill the whole tile map up. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to set the type of the tile map, so graphics.tm background.type, and I need to set it to a background type, so it's displayed behind things. Okay, right, just to check this is working, let's go into title mode and in Start Tile we're going to add that tile map to the tile map manager. Remember that this is the bit that actually makes it display. The code in Startup, that just creates the tile map. This will make it appear. So it's graphics dot tile background. Okay, so we should have this awesome graphic when we run this. So we still have, this has got the press start code in it and stuff like that, so you'll see that as well. But you should now see texture 1. Right, well we can't see the other one because it's wider than the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll the tile map. So we're going to go, well I'm going to do it here. I'm going to say, because you can put this code anywhere because we're modifying something that's been created. So we're just going to scroll plus equals, let's do 100 pixels per second. So the scroll speed, set it to that. Let's see what happens. So that should make it move off to the left because we're moving the position of the graphics in the tile map. You see it, it'll scroll along. There you go, there's the red one. Oh look, didn't join those up. One thing you can try and do is make those graphics join up. There you go, tile map goes and disappears because it's run out. Okay. Now, what we can do, we can use the wrap setting. So if we go back to where we created the background tile map, and we say graphics.tm tile background.wrap, let's just wrap it in the X direction equals true. So you say true to make that occur. So if you run it this time, what will happen is as we run out of tile map, it'll start displaying it from the left hand edge, so we should see texture 1 appear again, and it'll do that forever for us because it's bored. There you go. So the trick is, if you're going to make a tile map that's going to wrap round like that, is to make sure that the start and ends match, which I obviously didn't do because I did these in 2 seconds. Okay, now you can, the maximum size one texture can be is 2048 by 2048, so you could literally stitch massive textures together using this. If you've got a shoot 'em up or something and you've got like the same graphic over and over again, and I'll show you that. Let's say we just wanted to put texture 1 followed by texture 1, I can actually just do that, and then let's alter the size of the tile. So I'm in create tile. I'm going to make it so there's 3 textures. So 3 times 8 is 24. So that's 2,400. And what I'm going to do at 1600, I'm going to put texture 2. So I've got texture 1 once, then I've got it again, then I've got texture 2. So I'm not having to like create the same graphics over and over again. I can actually tile the same graphic more than once if that's what I want to do. So this time when we run it, and what I'm going to do in TileMap, I'm going to make that a bit faster. Let's make it 300 pixels per second. You should see texture 1 and then texture 1 again, because that's what I sat on the tile map, and then you'll see texture 2, then it'll go back to texture 1. So texture 1, back to texture 2, back to texture 1. So that's the start of the tile map's appeared again. Okay, so if you've got one graphic, as long as it stitches up nice at the left and right hand edges, then you could repeat it several times. Okay, and your tile map can be as long as you want it to be, within reason. Don't go mental when you're doing tile maps. Okay, so just for this bit, just look at that again. So set my size, and then I put my graphics where I want them. If I didn't want to put that middle one, I wanted a gap of transparency, I'll just leave that 800 pixel gap. So let's just have a look at that effect. So I'll have the first tile map, a blank screen's worth of tile map, then I'll have the red one come in, and then it'll go straight back to the blue one. So you don't have to put tiles everywhere. The tiles could be dispersed. Okay, but this will lead on to the advanced tile map section, where we actually build the tile maps up from rectangular blocks and define all the tile map stuff ourselves, which you need to do for platform games. So if you like doing a platform like Pac-Man, it's a tile map game where you create mazes and things, like Bomberman's the same. You'll see that there's lots of blocks repeated, and we manually set those. Okay, so that'll be a vicious video for later on. Okay.